Welcome to another episode of the Jimi Priceless Show, and this is part two of the Artist series. So, welcome back once again, guys. The Jimi Priceless Show, another episode, another part of the Artist series. Um, Thank you guys, everyone that tuned in to catch part one. The feedback has been really good. So, if you haven't checked it out, you can check out part one via this link here. And then, let's get into part two. So, on this episode, I wanted to focus on, putting in work, specifically when it comes to working on your craft, because like I mentioned in the first episode, we get to this point where we start out and we have this vision for where we want a project to be or where we see ourselves, as the type of creatives we are. So part of getting there, it's obviously, working on your craft and finding ways to improve over time. Because, what the mistake I made, which I can't believe I actually thought this way when I was younger. But I've been writing raps for maybe a year and a half, but casually, in the back of your maths book or whatever book, and making beats for a few months, And then once I got the hang of it, I was like, this is me. This is, I'm officially an artist now. I'm not gonna learn. I don't need to learn anymore shit. This is just where it's at. And boy, was I wrong. Because if I listen to the shit I made now, at that point, I was like, ugh, I can't believe I thought that. So that's one thing you gotta know in the beginning, there's no real finishing line to the shit, There's always something new to learn or something new to apply your mind to. If you look at not only the skill itself, but the way it's communicated or the way it showed off, to an audience. So, for example, if you take making a song, over the years, just from the technical aspect, there's always been more and new and easier ways to create. So, back in the day, there weren't as many beatbacks available or loops or VSTs, whereas now, it's just a Google search away from, whatever you might need. And then even on the communication side of that, same way back in the day, you just had, your little physicals where there was CDs you had to burn, with that Nero Express coming through, or Bluetooth, physical, not physical, but what I mean is you had to be face to face with someone to share music, I guess, and with now, there's streaming platforms, everything's done online. You also get this new thing called NFTs. I think that's the abbreviation for it, where people actually pay, using blockchain technology. I don't know if it applies for music yet, but I know for artwork especially it does, where instead of just downloading it, it's you actually own this digital, I guess, copy of it, and then, you get paid via, Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like that. So there's always more and new ways to either create and then also distribute. So always have to keep an open mind. It's always cheesy. I think it's within the IT world they use the term a lot, where it's you're always learning. So so the same thing with anything, years ago there were no podcasts. Well, there were, but definitely not at this level. There was no vlogs weren't how can I say, a piece of content that was, digested by so many people. It was still people were still, watching TV and that kind of shit. So when working on your craft, you have to have that same mentality where it's you're gonna keep doing things the way you are doing, but only for a set amount of time. You kind of have to adapt and then, apply different strategies to, execute what you're trying to execute. But, that all, it comes with time. And then another thing, to quote Lil Wayne from the Carter documentary, repetition is the father of learning. I'm sure he's not the first person to have said that, but he's the first person I've heard said it. And so you just got to keep doing the same thing over and over. I can't remember which footballer it was, but he was like, it's not about doing or trying something until you get it right. It's about doing and trying to do that thing until you can't get it wrong. So, a lot of people like to apply the 10,000 hours thing, which I think studies have shown to, in certain fields that's complete bullshit, like not everything takes 10,000 hours. But, the gist of it, I guess, is true, you just got to keep doing the same thing over and over until you get better, I guess. Or another thing you can do to kind of, sharpen your skill set is to kind of just, play the imitation game where, like, people get type beats. So you just do kind of like type, like beats if you're a producer, type raps, or type flows if you're a lyricist. And I guess even if you make like visual content, you can even try to imitate other prominent content creators, because like you're not going to copy their style, but there's something to be learned from all these people, and there's something you can gain from, these people that who do things differently than you do, like I know I'll be using flows from, all kinds of rappers. I don't care, because to me it's about the end product. So, always keep an open mind, and the whole kind of, making type content is a really good way to do that, because it really pushes your boundaries and really opens you up to new things, and then you could use those things, and kind of put your own twist on it and your own spin on it to kind of further improve and innovate in your own, field or genre of what it is that you're doing. So that's another valuable thing that I haven't really done myself. I won't lie, I don't apply that shit to me just because I feel I've done it like naturally, kind of influenced by things, and eventually get to a point where you're able to notice like, oh shit, this is from, I was bumping this song too much, so now when I write this rap, this flow is kind of similar to the flow in that song. So eventually you're able to catch yourself, to make sure that you don't lose any of your, authenticity or originality, if you want to, try the whole imitation thing, to further work on your craft. So, that's another thing you can do. And then, and that's the other thing. So when you put in all of this effort into your craft, you can't do it conditionally, like you can't be, like I mentioned in the previous video, where, speaking about like your intent behind doing what you're doing. If you don't get the, expected results immediately, you can't now, backtrack. So the same thing with working on your craft, you can't decide to stop working on your craft just because, your latest song or your latest podcast or whatever it is only got a certain amount of views. Because the thing is, like in the field we are, the creative field, things are very subjective. So of course you get good things and get things that are done terribly, but for the most part it's still subjective. Even within that good and bad, there's still this gray area where some people will say it's terrible but it still get millions of streams, and then vice versa. Someone will be like, yo, this is so amazing, but then the majority of the world doesn't feel like that. So you can't let that hinder your own practice of your craft, and make you not put in any hours. You kind of have to do this, I won't say expecting nothing, but shouldn't be a driving factor, man. Shouldn't be like, I'ma work on my craft and I'ma do the song and then shit's gonna blow up from here, and then when it doesn't, you can't then be like, nah, fuck working on my craft. So yeah, when you put in these hours, you gotta put it in for you, like you gotta put it in so that you feel that you making the best content or music or whatever it is. So yeah, work on your craft. I gave you guys some ways to do it, some things to think about when doing it. Hope you can apply it. Hope some of you have been applying this already. If you have any of your own, techniques you use, any kind of practice drills you use to work on your craft, whatever it is, you can drop them in the comments. I'd like to see what you guys do, to keep your swords sharp. But yeah, that's it for this episode, part 2 of the artist series. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Part 3 is coming next week, on schedule. I like to keep it like that. So yeah, next Wednesday you can check out part 3. But for now, I'm out.